Well, for more on the significance of this day and China's efforts, let's turn to Changhua Wu. She joins us from Shanghai. She's chair of the Governing Council of the Asia-Pacific Water Forum. Changhua, first of all, how much of a problem is desertification and land degradation in China?
Well, thank you for having me on the program again. And from statistic numbers perspective, about 44% of China's land areas pretty much suffer different degrees of land degradation, desertification. That's why, more urgently than ever, Chinese government and Chinese people have been making steadfast efforts over the last maybe 50 years at least, in terms of reversing the trend, and particularly through afforestation in the northern part of the country, northeast, northern, and northwest part of the country, which pretty much occupy about 90% of China's total desert, sandy lands, and the Gobi Desert area as well. And I think all the progress is made, and China's contribution leadership in terms of really reversing land degradation has been well recognized globally, not only through the UN Convention of Combating Desertification, but also through other partnerships like with Africa, with some other parts of the world, in terms of really working together to advance the agenda. Very importantly, because China has made a strong and convincing case that it's doable. And the pathway, the roadmap is clear, but what's required is really dedicated commitments and also close partnership.
Well, let's be a little bit more specific here. What do you see as China's biggest achievement in trying to mitigate the impact of desertification?
Well, I think it's a very complicated story in a way, but if I could put it in a little bit of a simple way, is that of course, it's dedicated efforts, state-fast efforts and commitments. So yes, it's a dedicated 5 decades long efforts there, and the progress has been made. So the government has been setting very clear targets in terms of afforestation, particularly focusing on forest coverage and the improvement of grasslands, and also bring back the health of other ecosystems there as well. Just to put a few numbers there. So today, if you look at China's forest coverage, we already achieved 24.1% forest coverage nationwide, at least a year and a half ahead of the 2025 targets, and is now on the track to deliver at least 26% of forest coverage by 2030. And very importantly in that process, China has explored and developed scientific methods and sometimes indigenous methods there as well, in terms of first deploying methods of sand square spaced grids, how to hold the sand and prevent the expansion. But in the meantime, really selecting locally drought-resistant plant species, and very importantly, to connect with other economic opportunities there. So I put maybe 3 E's in this sort of a narrative there. The first dimension is E, is about ecosystems. So it's no longer just about afforestation, which China has been building this 3 North Shelter Forest program over the decades, and the satellites view is very convincing to see the green area expansion there.
All right.
And very importantly, China is looking into connection with other ecosystems there. The second connection is about clean energy, really connecting with clean energy transition. And the third element is about economic growth opportunities there, particularly addressing poverty and alleviating poverty, agenda there as well. So in a nutshell, that is pretty much the successful story China has made, and it is now sharing with the rest of the world.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Changhua Wu, thank you very much.